marriage, but I don't want kids. Or maybe I don't want them right now. Let's wait after 5 years. Oh, I don't want to ruin my body. Oh, I don't want to see what. People give all sorts of excuses for their own reasons, for their own whatever it is. So when it comes to a conversation, Yamatoi, when should we have this conversation? How should we go about it? All of that shebang.
Again, it goes back to what I was saying. The same time we're having conversation about finances and about the marriage, you should factor in children because they are a very, very important component of that family. Now, we have different people having different thoughts and different opinions, of course, based either on culture, exposure, social background, maybe even religion at times. So it is important to sit down before you do the wedding or before you come together again and then you start having issues. It's important to discuss it before you come together and discuss a few issues regarding children. How many children are you going to be having? Starting from when again? Because like I said, you could be having career goals that are distracting you. Maybe somebody's in school right now, you are marrying and somebody's in school. So you are going to wait for her or for him to finish school. Or somebody has a plan to go back to school or to do something like that. So you have to factor in those things. So talk about the number of children, from when again, after marriage, because, once you get married, people expect to be having children maybe in a year, 2 years, 3 years, but which should not be the case. You should not let people outside there to pressure you. It's
or
up
dictate
to you.
what you want to do.
So dictate your own terms, set your own terms. Then number two, also talk about the intervals. At what intervals do you want the children to be? So that conversation, the entire conversation regarding children, again, there are those people who will bring in the issue of gender, again, although you don't have control over it again, but there are those people who bring in the issue of gender and all these things. Have that conversation before you go into marriage. Because if you're going to have it inside that marriage, you're going to be having fights and quarrels, because what happens is, the man has an expectation, maybe depending on where they've come from. They want to have 5 kids or 10 kids or whatever the number, and then the lady has
just
her own reservations. There is the issue of timing. The lady wants, maybe I want to get children past 30. The man feels like, I'm too old now, my age mates are already educated. So have this conversation, and then at the end of the day again, when having this conversation, I will emphasize, be honest and then be accommodative again. Because at the end of the day, we are two people standing on two extremes. We want to find a common ground in between.
Yeah. And part of lastly what we need to plan, yes?
I can add a